First tonight, a close friend tonight is questioning the charges placed against the accused fatal hit-and-run driver who allegedly killed a young father in the Irish Hill neighborhood. We're also taking that question to a legal expert. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt. WHAS 11 Night Team's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie go back to the scene at Lexington and Payne.
In the chaos of rush hour, all Emily Farrell hears is silence, following an immeasurable loss.
Well, the silence is deafening.
It's been more than 2 weeks since her friend Michael Allen lost his life crossing this intersection at Lexington Road and Payne Street in the Irish Hill neighborhood.
He was on this side, crossing this way.
According to the police report, Allen ran into the street against the crosswalk when 23-year-old Chris Zaringa hit him. Police say Zaringa had a green light at the time, but video from a nearby business shows he kept driving without stopping to check on Allen.
They did not brake. Given that this is a straight shot, they had plenty of time.
Friends say Allen was on his way home after a 12-hour shift when the accident happened. According to court documents, Zaringa told police he thought he had hit a ball.
Where would that ball have come from? At that time of night, you're not even near the park, if that's what he was thinking. He knows what he did. That's the fact of the matter. He knows what he did, and he ran from it.
In court Thursday, Zaringa pleaded not guilty to charges including leaving the scene of an accident with serious injury and driving with a suspended license.
I want justice for him and all the other Michaels.
Allen had been staying with her family for the better part of a year before his death. She says the thing she'll miss the most about Michael is his dedication to his 4-year-old daughter.
Ultimately, what I'll miss the most is him talking about his daughter and all the plans that he had for her future. And now that's been stripped away from her.
Farrell questions why prosecutors didn't charge Zaringa with more serious charges like vehicular manslaughter.
I think that there is more investigation that needs to go into the situation that night.
But above all else, she hopes Allen's death serves as a word of warning to other drivers to pay attention while on the road.
I don't want there to be more Michaels. I'm tired of hearing about hit and runs. Like, this very well could have been prevented.
A growing frustration with the increasing number of hit and runs across the city and hopes one family's loss can help prevent countless others. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Now, all week long, we have been getting many questions from you, our viewers, and outrage asking why not more serious charges for a fatal hit and run. So tonight, we turn to a veteran former prosecutor in Louisville and current defense attorney Carl Price. We also sent him the police report to look it over. He said for murder charges, the law evaluates the conduct of a suspect before the death occurs as opposed to after the death, in this instance, leaving the scene.
This particular case, when you have someone operating on a suspended or revoked driver's license, that means that the privilege to operate a motor vehicle has been revoked. And because it's been revoked, that conduct in and of itself, getting behind that wheel, may be enough for the reckless conduct then for prosecutors and law enforcement to then elevate the charge to murder or manslaughter because of
Zaringa is charged with leaving the scene of an accident and failure to render aid and operating on a suspended or revoked license. Price says given those charges, a $50,000 bond is actually standard, if not a bit high. He says that bond is typical of Class D felonies, like leaving the scene of an accident with serious injuries. Zaringa has posted 10% of that $50,000 bond. He's out of jail on $5,000. Now, friends have started a GoFundMe account for Allen. If you'd like to donate, you can find a link to our website, WHAS11.com. Here on the night team, Indiana State Police served 6 more search warrants today in the investigation of the former Clark County, Indiana Sheriff Jamie Knoll. It brings the total number to 34 search warrants. Now, each of the 6 was served at a fire department or other entity that Knoll once ran. Our focus team reporter Travis Breeze is reporting tonight from one of those locations in Floyd County.
This is New Chapel Fire Station 1 in New Albany Township. The president of the Firefighters Board of Trustees told me that the warrant was served at this location around 11 a.m. on Friday. The state had already served warrants at 2 of Knoll's fire departments back in August. There is nothing officially filed with these warrants online yet, so we don't know exactly what they were looking for that they didn't already have. Knoll's former EMS service operates under at least 3 different names and at least 6 total locations. Ron Galaviz with Indiana State Police said there were no federal entities involved and couldn't comment any further on what they were looking for. The warrants will likely be made public next week and may show any new leads or charges. Knoll is charged with 15 felonies for his alleged scheme to defraud taxpayers through his various entities and also misuse of public employees while he was serving as sheriff. In Floyd County, Travis Breeze, WHAS11 on your side.
These fire stations are still contracted with the counties and townships to provide fire service, even though Knoll has been removed as the CEO. Indiana State Police say one person was arrested for possession of meth during one of the searches today, but it was not related to Jamie Knoll. Louisville Metro Police have arrested the man suspected of harassing people near the downtown hospital district, a story we've been telling you about this week. The Louisville Medical Education District, known as LUMED, reported earlier this week that there had been several incidents of 31-year-old Antonio Coleman exposing himself and gesturing to women walking through the area. At about 1:30 this afternoon, LMPD says they got a call about a man exposing himself in the area. When officers arrived, they arrested Coleman on outstanding warrants and possession of drug paraphernalia. According to court records, he's also now charged with indecent exposure, menacing, and stalking in connection to today's incident. And Metro Police are asking for your help to find these two men. They're wanted for animal cruelty and what police are calling one of the worst cases they've seen. Investigators say William Grieshaber and John Amato moved out of a home in Worthington Hills and left 8 dogs inside that home. When discovered, the dogs were severely neglected, even eating the drywall inside the home. But there is some good news to tell you. 7 of the 8 dogs have already been adopted to loving homes. But one right here is Sadie. Take a look. Such a sweet dog. She's the only one left looking for an adopted home. She's being held at Louisville Metro Animal Services. If you're looking to adopt, she could use some love. And the Metro Animal Adoption Center is open Saturday and Sunday from noon to 6 on Newburgh Road. The number to call them is 502-473-PETS. That's 502-473-7387. And it was emotional testimony in a Clark County, Indiana courtroom today as a grisly murder case came to an end. A judge gave Brian Montes Williams the maximum penalty today, 55 years in prison. His father took the stand to ask for leniency for his son.
At this point, I feel like I failed my son. I haven't even misspelled.
Williams previously pleaded guilty to murder in the death of Melody Gambetti. Police found the 67-year-old decapitated in her Clarksville apartment in July of 2021. Investigators believe Williams killed her during a robbery or home invasion. Today, the prosecutor spoke on behalf of Gambetti's friends and family, saying they could not face her killer after what he did.
Because of the nature of the facts of this case, what he did to her, I think it was difficult for them to attend the court hearings and have to relive the details of what she went through. So from the beginning, they asked that I handle this to get him convicted and to get him sent to prison. And
as part of the sentence, Williams will get outside mental health care treatment, a request from his father. New tonight on the Night Team, a large and steady crowd came out tonight to honor the man who made the Louisville Urban League a true civil rights force in our city. Ben Richmond was a mentor, friend, and a straight shooter with advice. He was the CEO for nearly 30 years until his retirement in 2015. WHAS 11 Night Team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Aspen Hester talked to those who work closely with him and are thankful for his legacy. Taylor?
Yes, Doug, community leaders tell me they are forever grateful for the legacy Ben Richmond leaves behind. He paved the way for so many professionals, teaching them how to lead through the league's young professional program, and some credit him for who they are today.
This registrar represents all the relatives and friends coming together to celebrate the life of Louisville Urban League's former president and CEO, Ben Richmond. But it's the memories that mean the most. To David Tandy, Richmond was a mentor and fraternity brother.
Always encourage you and say, David, you can do this, you can do that. We got to work together on a number of things.
Richmond was the first person to show State Representative Pamela Stevenson how business operated in Louisville.
He put his money where his mouth was. He created a vision for people to step into.
He built a foundation for so many young black professionals like Goodwill's Devon Holt.
He gave us space at the table with him and helped us understand how this world worked, quite frankly.
Congressman Morgan McGarvey remembers how he challenged those who didn't always agree with him.
He did it in a way where he commanded respect, I think even from people who disagreed with him.
Ben Richmond is described by State Senator Gerald Neal as a quiet giant who did everything with class.
And he was always thinking about the next move, so he knew how to make things happen.
Leaders like former Urban League board member Roderick Purdy say the civil rights organization that stands today is because of the foundation and legacy Richmond leaves behind.
Just very articulate in any message that he was trying to convey.
Richmond's footprint in Louisville's black community will forever be remembered.
He said, this life I'm going to use for this community and so that all people can have a life that works. And he did that.
And visitation for Ben Richmond is tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at St. Stephen Baptist Church. The funeral service will then start at 11 a.m. In studio, Taylor Woods, WHAS 1119 on your side.
Great tributes tonight. Thank you, Taylor. New right now on the WHAS 1119, a state lawmaker wants voters to have a say about school choice in Kentucky. Representative Suzanne Miles of Owensboro filed a proposed constitutional amendment to allow state money to help fund enrollment at private and charter schools. Recent court rulings on the issue have said tax dollars must be spent on Kentucky's common or public schools and not charter or private schools. Supporters of the proposal say it would give families more options for their children's schools. Opponents argue it would divert badly needed money from the public schools. Legislators would have to approve the proposal before it could go on the November ballot.